It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Thursday, February 23rd edition. Let's keep this quick. I don't know if I can deal with you guys much longer.
Are you done with us today?
Yeah, I think I've had
All
enough of you.
Way to be grateful. Way to show gratitude.
That's fine. Well, I don't know if it makes it into the podcast, but happy National Chili Day to you then.
It is. I need to get away from you guys and go enjoy some chili.
You can go home and make some.
Yeah. I got to get started on that quick.
We also talked about some laws that you would make that aren't current laws.
I feel like that moved on to, I didn't get that you guys were power hungry with some of your laws, but it felt more like I just want it this way and there's no other option.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is the laws we're not supposed to
Yeah,
do.
that doesn't sound... we've reduced a lot of freedom if we did that. I just think when I was doing that, I was just like, well, if we do that, we might as well do this type thing.
It's a slippery slope.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We also talked about a guy who is so desperate for a date and wants to put so little effort in, he's willing to pay $10K.
I don't know if he's desperate, though.
Sounds like he is if he's willing to pay for that much money.
He's delegating.
He's willing to just toss $200 for a date.
First off, he also sounds like he has money because he's in New York and he's willing to spend all this money, but he just doesn't want to chat a lot. He's too busy.
You know how you make all that money is probably working a job on Wall Street or something. Although not now, but
he's a money guy.
Yeah, he's busy working, and so he doesn't have time to. He can't be seen at work messaging on Hinge.
Yeah, but then that's a red flag, though, because then if you go out with him, he won't want to talk with you.
Sounds like he's not ready to date anyway.
No.
He can't even prioritize messaging you, let alone he doesn't even have time for a date.
It sounds like a great relationship. You go on a date and then
you never see him again.
Yeah, then you guys go do your own thing and you leave each other alone most of the time. It's a great relationship.
Well, if you are looking for someone and you don't like chit chat and you'd just rather be left alone, or if you never want to text your partner, there's a guy in New York who's a possible candidate.
We also talked about some bagels banned from the military.
Yeah, banned was a strong word, but they are strongly discouraged now. A certain type of bagel that you're no longer supposed to have. And I taught Nikki about Wizard of Oz a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I saw the movie, but I don't recall old movies like you do.
What do you mean you're sure you've seen it?
I'm sure I saw Wizard of Oz somehow growing up. But can I tell you the story outside of the shoes or whatever? No, probably.
The ruby red slippers?
Yeah.
What do they need to follow?
The golden path.
I do. No, the yellow brick road. I do know
The
that.
golden path.
Actually,
Same deal.
I don't think you should play this game because he might know less than me about it.
Yeah, probably.
I think he got the golden path, which is kind of close.
No,
I remember.
I remember I saw one thing and I totally missed out on, is it the wizard guy or whatever?
Yeah.
I didn't even know any of that stuff. I just thought it was just the road stuff.
You thought they never found the wizard? It was called Wizard of Oz. They never find him?
Never. I thought it was just always going after him.
And what happens to the witch?
Oh, she crumbles.
Crumbles?
That is just making stuff up.
She burns.
He's just answering.
She melts.
She melts.
Yeah, but you just got that because you're just saying verbs.
Because she was in the sun, maybe?
Maybe
that's a vampire.
Okay, so
answer.
is she not... Okay, I thought, wasn't someone crushed by a house?
Oh, yep, that's what
Was
happened.
that the witch? Or
I thought
was
she
it the other
melted.
one?
That's a witch.
Oh, there's more than one.
That's the
There's
witch
more
of
than one witch.
witch
That's
of the
why the
East.
other witch is so upset.
Oh.
Well, that's her
the
storyline.
Wicked Witch of the East gets crushed by a house, and then the Wicked Witch of the West is upset about it.
Okay.
And then she,
Melts.
spoiler alert for this almost 100-year-old movie, the witch eventually gets water dumped on her accidentally, and she melts.
That's all it takes?
Remember her going, I'm melting? You don't remember that.
Well, no, I do now. Again, you know, iconic things from it, but just not the story around it.
The one dude was
It
low
doesn't
on
sound like
oil.
you did know the iconic
the
things
Tin
from it, though.
Man,
The Tin Man.
Yeah.
WD-40, that jazz. He
Do you
needed it.
know what all the things they needed were?
A heart?
Who needed a
Courage.
heart?
Courage.
I don't remember who needed a heart. Somebody needed some bravery. I think the lion needed that. Somebody needed some oil.
Yeah.
That was the Tin Man.
The Tin Man.
Then there was another
He also
character. The
needed a heart.
Scarecrow needed a heart.
No, the Scarecrow needed a brain.
A brain.
Who needed a heart?
The Tin Man.
Oh, I thought he needed
did
oil.
need oil, but he wasn't on a quest to find oil.
I know.
Listen, I didn't say we want to watch it because you're making it feel like we're
But
watching
now
it
I've
now.
seen the whole movie.
Yeah. This is why I can't. This is why we have to end the podcast intro, because I can't deal with you guys that
making you
haven't
mad.
seen one of the most historic movies of all time. You can't remember it.
What's
Nope.
the main character's name again?
Dorothy.
Dorothy, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I was thinking Alice, but then that's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Similar.
Also, don't recall any of that.
See, that's a movie that I've seen, but I think the newer version.
It's so crazy that you make fun of me for being uneducated, the homeschooler, and you guys.
I think
That's
you
because
just.
we were at
Wonderland.
school, you were at home watching movies.
Alice in Wonderland is like required reading.
I don't remember that. Maybe for you.
And it was a Disney movie, and you still don't know
I
it.
saw the
Nope.
Disney movie. I think I saw the new one.
Which one is that?
Like I said, the live action one. You know,
Oh, was that
the card thing, right?
Yeah, so they did a live
Is
action.
that Johnny Depp?
Or was that
Tim
Charlie and
Burton?
the Chocolate Factory?
Tim Burton?
Maybe.
I think they're both.
Listen, we
Either
can
way,
just-
we're digging deep.
we can keep going. We're gonna leave
The
you
rabbit
guys.
hole.
I think you guys need to. I mean, I'm not a big reader, but I think you guys need to go read some books.
I'm thinking watching movies.
Yeah, I mean,
Something.
Maybe I'll do that during my shift
Yeah.
today.
all right,
During work.
let's go.
I'll
everybody.
put a stamp of approval on that.
That'd be great. I say I need to watch some movies today. Get that done.
You
Knocked
guys
out.
have a wonderful day. Don't let us bother you with all stuff that we haven't read or watched or don't remember any of it while Hudson remembers line by line everything. Make sure you text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U or join us at RadioU Riot. We did a Krispy Kreme food fight. And so that, if you're watching our video podcast, is the video before this one. So just go watch that too.
All right, and join us tomorrow to find out what other pieces of American history Nikki and Isaiah are familiar with.
American
Oh, I think we'd
history.
make you so mad
You
because our
would.
lack of caring.
It's all right.
See you guys.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. Radio U.
American Girl has added a couple new dolls to their historical collection.
Did they send this press release to you?
No, I found this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
All right.
I always keep up on the new American Girl
On
dolls.
the dolls?
Yeah, I just call them the dolls, but they're really not dolls to me. They're more friends. I like to think of them that way, as people I can talk to and bring with me to do fun things.
That's
like
a lie. None of us can afford this
get
stuff.
your hair cut, go to the zoo, that type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Spend some time in the Hamptons. That's what I like to do with my American Girl doll because
so
I have
there's-
that kind of money.
There's new ones?
There's new ones that are they've been
I just
added
got the Hamptons.
to
so
the
yeah.
to the historical collection. But that's why people are having a little bit of a freak out moment here because the two new American Girl dolls as part of the historical collection, 90s themed,
For the historical one?
as in 1990s.
I mean, it is historical, but maybe that feels like it's a bit harsh of a word for.
Yeah.
Because it was saying the collection also features like from the 1700s.
From the 1700s.
From the 1700s. So wide range.
All the way up to 1986 previously.
true, that's
So,
true.
you know, they're just anything that happened in the past is history, which is technically true, and that's how American Girl
Oh my gosh, I'm one of the
sees it.
twins. It's Nikki.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Isabel and Nikki
It's me.
are the new American Girl doll twins
Straight
from
out of the 1990s.
Looks like they are Seattle based. They're it's supposed to be in 1999 is like what the aesthetic they're going for. And so
What are my accessories?
a purple inflatable chair.
That's nice.
That's very 90s.
Oh, how funny. A desktop computer.
Yeah. A Pizza Hut book it program.
Did you see
If
the-
that isn't the 90s.
People are also talking about, if you scroll down, there's a Pizza Hut collab with American Girl
Yeah,
accessory
this
set.
really feels like a big Pizza Hut advertisement.
If you ever went to Pizza Hut, and I think there's still a buffet one that's north of us. I think they still use them, but it's these red cups that they have. You can
Yeah.
get that for your little Nikki doll.
I used to have some cups that are very similar to that.
You stole them from
yeah,
Pizza Hut?
Well, they wound up at a Goodwill, I think, and you see them and you're like, well, I have to have that because it's so nostalgic. But I'm looking at all the design of this, and this is definitely, there's definitely some girls that babysat me when I was a child that
That would have
that
this
had
sort of
all
stuff?
this. They dressed like this and had that smiley face pillow on their bed. Yep, that sounds about right. That looks about right. So they did capture, I think, the 90s American Girl doll aesthetic pretty well. It's just kind of tough, for those who maybe lived during this time. Even to me, I was very
to already
young.
be a doll.
Yeah, to be a part of the history, to feel like you're ancient history at this point
Yeah.
in the eyes of American Girl. that's a little tough.
There's even a mock Tamagotchi digital pet.
My gosh.
But those came back for a while. Like those were still popular last year.
Well, everything about the 90s is kind of made. I mean, the Book It thing came back, so it's all cycling its way back in, and I'm sure the American Girl dolls will only increase that.
Let's hear about me. Mine is a skater-like clothing, a gray T-shirt underneath a blue T-shirt dress. I've got a flannel top tied around my waist, and I have a baseball hat that would never have happened. Black sunglasses, a yin-yang necklace, and a messenger bag. That's me.
That's that. I mean, you listen to Avril Lavigne, and that you've completed the whole 90s deal right
That's
there.
my 90s doll.
They knew what they were doing at America. They must have had some people that lived through this time.
I guess.
Yeah, they must have. But that's out there now. But I don't want you, if you do remember all of this stuff, I don't want you to feel too bad because it's still only barely 20 years ago. Barely over 20 years.
You're in the age when a doll happens.
Yeah, but if you grew up in the 90s, then the 90s now are like what the 70s felt like to you when you were growing up, which is bad.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on RadioU.
That is March 12th, only a few weeks away. And the question on everyone's mind is, will there be another slap at this year's Oscars? That's really going to be the big, as we get closer and closer, the big thing that everybody talks about. It's less the movies because it's not been as good a year for movies.
Well, that means they're going to lean heavily on it, or, well, the host, like the only jokes they make will be about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. But as far as the Oscars go, although it was great for ratings, they don't want another incident because it was so controversial. Mm-hmm. They don't want an incident of that nature again.
Why didn't they put like a fence in front of the tables?
Ooh.
And then that way there's like a stopping point, and then there could be a little door.
How about
so
this?
If you win, you walk through the door.
Oh, that could work.
And then go up on the stage.
In baseball and hockey, they have netting that keeps like bats and balls and pucks from flying into the stands. They could have netting in front of the stage so that the presenters are safe
that way
from
you have
flying hands.
And it's not like it wouldn't of course they could get through, but it would stop them long enough to be like, hey, why is the person at the net?
So that Chris Rock could make a run for it. Mm-hmm. Well, that's maybe options that they've explored, the Academy has, but what I can tell you is for sure is that according to the CEO of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, that's Bill Kramer, he announced that they have, quote, a whole crisis team that they've assembled to work on scenarios that they feel could play out at the Oscars so that they can be prepared for what they do if something like that were to happen again. Now, how I read it is they're going through the scenarios, not so that they could, stop it from actually happening, but so they know how to react after it does happen.
Yeah, because, you just can't tell how someone will act. And they also said that they would like the Academy to be a little bit better about maybe saying if a joke is wrong to do to start a problem. Mm-hmm. So kind of be a bit more in control over the people that are presenting.
That sounds like it'll make it boring.
It's already boring. I don't know what you're watching.
It's not boring.
The Oscars are
a lot of fun.
It
it's a good time. It's a celebration of film.
Nope.
And it's some of our greatest comedians like
it's so
Wanda
boring.
Sykes and whoever else was there. Amy Schumer.
No,
did she host?
It's awful.
The greatest comedians, and they come together. And we just have a great time.
The same jokes.
Unless Will Smith shows up to ruin it, which he's not allowed.
You can watch, but the rest of us don't like to watch it.
It's going to be a great time, and this time with no slaps involved, as far as we know. And if there is a slap, they'll know what to do afterwards.
You almost wish then it would happen.
Somehow they didn't know last time.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, RadioU.
The United States military, the Department of Defense, it's the Pentagon, they have issued a little warning here to anybody serving in the military that there's a certain type of food that they're going to need to stop eating.
Oh, you can't have any more?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's banned, but they're saying definitely avoid this. And the food is anything with poppy seeds.
Oh, for drug tests.
They are cracking down on saying they are experiencing a lot of issues with drug tests coming back positive. Urinalysis
is coming back positive.
Yeah, because, it could be because of codeine, but it also could be
the poppy seeds.
Because people are eating poppy seeds in the military. And you might think poppy seeds are something that don't cross your mind too often, but they're a part of some very important food groups. Basically, anything with everything seasoning.
Oh, you're right.
Includes
Everything
poppy
with the bagel
seeds.
seasoning.
Yep. So obviously everything bagels, but now people like to put that everything seasoning in. I put it in
That's
burgers.
on everything.
Yeah, you can put it in. They don't call it everything for nothing.
Wow, I forgot that was in there because, outside of that, we're not having poppy seeds too often.
Yeah.
But it's been known for a very, very long time that poppy plants produce an opium sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And that can be cross-contaminated onto poppy seeds. And so then when you cook or bake or use them, not like use them, but, like eat them, then you can get a positive drug test.
That's been a thing going back
forever.
to, that's what happens in Wizard of Oz.
It does?
Yeah, remember they go through like the field of poppy. They go through the field of the poppy field.
Nope.
And then they all like pass out or whatever in the field. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
You don't they can see the castle.
No, it's not helping me.
They're all happy. They're prancing. The scarecrow.
It's not helping me.
You know the characters, right? The scarecrow,
I do at least know the characters.
The lion, and they're prancing through the field, but then they all faint in the field.
Oh, I didn't know it was from that.
It's poppy seeds.
Didn't know.
But then it's come up in many forms of entertainment throughout the years of poppy seeds throwing off your drug tests. And
I just always thought people who failed their drug test just be like, but wait, I eat poppy seeds.
I had a poppy seed bagel today.
So they get more time.
That explains it. But yeah, but that's right though. So it's weird that now in 2023, either there's been an uptick in tests or for some reason they just thought about it.
No, I think it's totally because of the everything but the bagel seasoning.
You think so?
I think that's something that people use a lot more, and you just, again, don't realize poppy seeds are in it.
A lot of the servicemen and women are stopping off at Trader Joe's.
Yep.
And, well, this just shows, again, why I couldn't be in the military. This is the last straw.
You'd fail that test?
I'd never cut it. They wouldn't let me in because I'd fail the test. I eat too much
He just
for the
can't.
bagels.
He cannot give up that seasoning.
That's more important than serving my country.
Oh, no.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Residents of Santa Cruz, California are being told to watch out for Adam Sandler.
The star?
No.
Oh.
But he's been terrorizing the town, this Adam Sandler has.
Is he filming something?
No, this is it's a different Adam Sandler, but they're also being told to watch out for Cookie Monster.
Ooh, what is this costume?
It's Cookie Monster.
But do you see how the different colors? Like this does not look like
it's a cheap Cookie Monster costume.
It is not officially licensed. It's oddly shaped, and then the head and hands are two different blues than the body.
You think it's not fat enough to be Cookie Monster?
It's weird.
Yeah, but this is Santa Cruz, California, where people have reported being harassed basically by a guy who they believe is named Adam Sandler, dressed up as a knockoff Cookie Monster, who's been shouting obscenities at people and taunting people that have been, just out enjoying the boardwalk, enjoying the fresh air.
Like if you go to Times Square, he's trying to get people to pay him for photos with him in the costume.
Yeah.
And you're obviously not doing it because he looks weird. And then he'll scream and yell at them.
The authorities say, I do not recommend taking pictures with him. That's exactly what they say. But it's funny you should mention Times Square because here is an incident that may or may not be connected. In 2013, there was a guy whose name is Dan Sandler.
Yeah.
Who did get arrested in Times Square for dressing up as Elmo. He was named, his name is Dan Sandler, but he went by Adam Sandler.
Whoa.
For some reason.
Okay.
And he would dress up as Elmo and shout anti-Semitic diatribes while dressed as Elmo in Times Square.
Did he move to Santa Cruz?
We don't know. It could be the same guy. Because it seems too similar to not be connected.
If not, the Sandler name has a horrible
that's
chance
right.
of you being awful.
But he also that guy did get arrested. He wound up going to jail for a year after he was trying to extort. He was threatening to extort the Girl Scouts.
Oh my
by coming up with just some crazy stuff. And he went through he went through his year in jail. He says, I accept the fact I committed a crime, but I'm not in any way sorry to the Girl Scouts organization.
Weird. So
what a wild guy.
He was also, maybe it is the same guy, because he was arrested in San Francisco, which is near Santa Cruz, and he just panhandles in all these costumes.
So he thought he could, you get a Cookie Monster costume, a different Sesame Street character, throw him off the scent.
And they're like, is that you? No, it's not me. I love the last line in this story. They're like, the Post contacted Sandler for comment. Which Sandler? The
actual
actor one or which one? Leave the other one alone.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with this as far as we know. But I don't know. It seems like, I guess the thing is, maybe he hasn't technically committed a crime at this point now. That he's just, you can walk around and shout obscenities if you want. That's not a crime, but it is annoying.
If it's the same guy and like he is still on parole or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Just annoying.
You violated your parole. You dressed up as a Sesame Street character.
They wanted
that was
to stop.
Clearly in your qualification. You can't do that. Well, that's watch out for Cookie Monster. Again, do not take pictures with him.
And if your last name is Sandler, that is not
apologize.
good. I am sorry.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Isaiah, everyone.
Yeah, that's
Text in at 8772 radio. There's 4 of us. There's me and you and you and you.
The listeners.
Yeah. And so I want everyone to rate your level of interest on this. Netflix's new groundbreaking series. They call it Quarterback. It is a new docu-reality series that follows NFL quarterbacks through an entire football season with unprecedented access.
That could be fun.
This year's season will include Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota.
What do we think about him?
He's not even a good player.
He's not good enough to have an opinion.
He's not even a starter.
Really. Yeah.
Well, they figured the other 2 guys were big enough that you just have a third and other option.
So
we want to give you the backup version too.
For a reality show, it's probably more interesting to see Marcus Mariota getting benched and stuff and then trying to maybe fight his way back or something than just see Patrick Mahomes tear it up the whole time. But it will follow them through this entire past football season. So they were following these guys the entire year. They had them mic'd up for every game on the field. And so it's going to follow the course of the season for these 3 guys and give you a look inside of the life of an NFL quarterback as they go through an entire season. And that premieres this summer on Netflix. So
that could be good.
Your level of interest?
I wish I would have picked someone else, like for the quarterback. But yeah, maybe that could be interesting.
What do you think, Isaiah?
For me, it's probably a no.
Fan. Not a no completely?
Yeah, I would say I'm out. I'm probably not going to watch it if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It doesn't really pique my interest, these quarterbacks. None of them really do much for me. And I don't know if there's a quarterback that would, if I'm being honest.
I want to see the Joe Burrows guy.
See, I wouldn't want to see him even a little bit. He would be the one I'd want to see the least, actually.
I know, you're okay with him.
What about Deshaun Watson?
See,
I think that'd be fascinating.
I don't know if I want to see behind the scenes
field
of him either.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone does.
All right, so there's no one that you can come up with that you would like.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think I need to see the NFL players like that in the way that off the field. It just doesn't do much for me. All the hard knocks stuff they do in the summertime, it doesn't do much for me either.
It's weird, but I feel like Nikki, you seem like the most interested in it.
I think that's because they assume I get tired of watching them on the field, and they're like, "Well, surely
maybe if you knew them more as people.
they think I'll be more interested if I'm emotionally invested."
Ooh, what if
in
there's like a
person.
love story? What if Marcus Mariota's marital situation? Maybe he's he's out there in the dating game, and maybe he's looking for somebody, and he finds love or something like that.
It's going to be a hard sell. I just naturally assume most football players are not the nicest, and maybe not the best.
Well,
but
then this could change your mind.
this could change my
There
mind.
you go.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't know what perspective they could give me that would make me interested in this because I don't.
They're trying to do what they did with Formula One racing, and then they did a thing with the PGA Tour. So they really want to get fans to kind of like have more of a behind the scenes look. Even
Makes
though this
sense.
feels more Amazon than it does Netflix, but I think maybe that's just because of all the Amazon football stuff.
Maybe, but with Formula One, with the Drive to Survive that they've done, that was very successful. Apparently now
That was huge for them.
Yeah, and it was cool at the time because I think for a lot of people that was a new world to you, and it's way different than American sports, so that makes sense that it's something different. Where the PGA Tour one that just started and not as good. It's a because it doesn't feel like even I think you kind of have a good frame of reference for what a PGA Tour's golfer's life is like. And I think we really have a pretty good frame of reference for what NFL players are like. We see stuff about them all the time.
Well, Netflix, I feel like I know Patrick Mahomes already too much, so maybe it would have been better to go with someone not as well known.
Yeah, maybe so.
We already have opinions.
Yeah, this is tough. And I mean, maybe if you're a super diehard fan of any of these quarterbacks, this is something that you would watch. But other than that,
So you don't like
I don't
Kirk
know.
Cousins? You don't like him?
He's the worst.
Marcus Mariota, you don't like him?
Don't have a strong.
Okay.
No strong feelings either way.
All right, well, 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
There it is.
Uh-huh.
Good for you guys.
I think Patrick Mahomes is the most interesting, actually, out of the three.
Out of all of
You
them.
can go see him hang out with his wife and his brother.
Yeah.
They're a pretty awesome crew.
I feel like I would hate watch that.
I know.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
What is something, if you could make a law, what is something you would make law?
Oh, gosh. What a
Yeah.
question.
What a great
that,
question.
What are we, the president? We could cast an executive order or something?
I'd go ahead and change the time change stuff. I'd go ahead and
yeah.
change that.
It's an
Good
easy,
idea.
quick and easy, and that's relevant coming up. So what would you make it so that when we set the clocks forward in a couple weeks,
It'd be that
it would
we'd
stay that way?
like that forever.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking with that. What about you, Isaiah? You got any?
There's so many different things. Another one that's kind of like a time thing. I would say no big sporting event should start past 9:00 p.m.
Eastern?
Yeah, they have to be, or whatever time Nikki would like to
by
choose.
then? Okay.
Has to be like start before then. So I'm looking at like a 10 o'clock or so ending for most of those big games. I can't be staying up till midnight.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Actually, that'd be good for not just, I mean, obviously that's relevant for morning show folks, but I think that'd be good for everybody. Children, they got to get up for school. They miss so many things. Think about all the sports that kids miss out on.
They could have grow up with.
Yeah.
What about mutual combat?
What?
Mutual combat?
Not going to have it?
That should be a thing.
That
Like if
should-
two
Mutual
people
combat.
decide that they want to fight, there should be no repercussions.
Oh, so like as long as they both agree.
They both agree, like whatever
What a
happens
weird
here.
one.
We need that. We can
Is
just
there
battle
like
it
a
out.
waiver that you just have?
You
that-
just, it's like a gentleman's agreement. You just shake hands.
No, it's the same waiver like when you want to eat the hot wings. So it's probably
there's-
not like
it's gotta
legal, but it's there.
It's got to be in writing, or else, because I've watched enough of the court shows to know that they would be like, if you don't get it in writing, it doesn't count. It's a verbal agreement, doesn't count. And so then one of the guys would get beaten to a pulp, and he'd be like, I didn't agree.
I never said that I could make it this far.
Is there someone you're feuding with?
No,
Yeah.
not for me. I'm just saying. I think if people want to battle it out, they're more than welcome in my neck of the woods. I think also social media. I think you should have to sign up with an ID. That way you can have all these fake accounts.
Why are you laughing at that?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm amazed he's having all these ideas.
He's been thinking about this.
Are you going to sneeze?
Are you running for
I was
office or
close. I was
something?
close. I was close.
He's rubbing his nose.
I was close. What about you, Hudson? Do you have any?
Since you guys got me thinking on the time thing, what if we had a national time zone?
National
I
time
think
zone?
the time zones are confusing, annoying.
Makes travel terrible.
Yeah, why is it easier? I think it'd be easier for just people to adjust to the sun setting and rising at different times. And just if you're in California versus Michigan, you'd have different schedules. But, you already have different schedules, even with the time zone. So I think it's just confusing for everybody. The entire United States, one time zone. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
That's a bold one. I don't know. I might get my time change thing through first before yours.
I think that would help with jet lag and stuff. So when I'm doing all this traveling and stuff like that, I think it would really help.
You're not traveling.
Maybe I would if I didn't have to worry about so much jet lag.
That is true.
Oh, yeah, that's
true.
what's keeping him. It's the jet lag.
It's impractical is what it is. So I would put, I'd just probably put a lot of caps on fees.
Yeah.
If speaking of travel, not just with obviously airlines.
How about
and stuff.
ATM fees? We got to get rid of those. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about cash-only businesses? We got to get rid of that. Why are you only taking cash nowadays? It's 2023.
I think that's okay.
You think that you have to go to the ATM, you have to take on the fee, and then you have to go and you have to give them cash. That's the worst.
That's because they're hiding something.
Yeah, clearly. If I go to the barbershop, answer me why every barbershop I have to pay in cash. You guys seriously can't take credit card? That's ridiculous.
Well, have you
can't,
seen
but
the cash registers they have?
Well, I don't know why they haven't upgraded. They had like it's 1970 still.
And they don't want to pay the fees.
I don't know a lot about haircuts, but what I do know is if you go to a barbershop that that takes card payments, bad barbershop.
It's not the right one.
Nope, they're gonna give you a bad haircut, I think. So I think capping out a lot of the fees on just all kinds of things when you're buying tickets to stuff.
Ticketmaster, I was about to say that.
Yeah, I take them down is what I do. 8772 RadioU if you've got something.
Wide choice of laws we would put into effect.
See if you can come up with something. I'll keep working on it. We'll keep working on it.
So what was his question?
Latavia says, what is something, if you could just make any law, something you would make law in the United States? Or locally, I guess. 8772 RadioU. Text it with your answer.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Let's do some lawmaking. This is a question from Latavius, who texted in and said, if you could make one thing law, what would it be?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of things texted to us are not appropriate for back on air.
Unfortunately.
You guys have some real strong things you put into effect.
Some people take real serious.
I think you're upset about a lot of things. And then it would be like, wow, okay, that's a law.
Yeah.
But I will say Abel was mentioning.
I guess that's why we're not all politicians.
This is why we can't make laws.
Yeah.
Abel was saying everybody's headlights on all cars are the same height, no matter the size of the vehicle, and the same brightness. I get you on the brightness, but yeah, like if you have a shorter car and then there's a taller car behind you, it just goes right in.
Yeah, but they make the little thing for your rear view mirror so you can flip it down.
Okay, well, Abel.
So that helps with that.
Abel, look, he's made
flip
it.
what
Look,
down?
there should be you know how you have
have
your
tall
rear view
cars,
mirror.
yeah, we don't get 'em.
Yeah, that probably doesn't happen to you.
Truck,
but you have a rear view mirror, and then on a lot of the rear view mirrors, it has a little tab underneath it. You just pop the tab.
When you see someone's lights in, you just leave it
lights
on?
are shining, and then you just
can't
pop
see
it.
out of your rearview
No, you
mirror?
can see. It just changes the angle a little
Got
bit,
it,
so
okay.
it changes what you see a little bit. But I mean, how much are you looking in your rear view mirror when you're driving at night?
You're supposed to check it every
when
5
you're driving
seconds.
forwards, you're looking in your rear view mirror. I think you can flip the tab.
That's always a hard one for me when you see someone come and you're like, are those blue lights or what did we
What's going on behind
what
me?
did we
that's
do with
right.
those? But yeah, you mentioned you want them all the same brightness.
Maybe
How about car modifications in general against the law?
you're against them.
I'm against them a little bit, I would say.
Like if it's too loud or
I would say too loud, too big, too wide, any of that jazz.
You want every car to look exactly the same.
I would say we just don't need it. And you know what? It's not that I'm saving myself from you. I'm saving yourself from spending unnecessary money. You're welcome.
Wow, that's what this country is built on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
In Isaiah's world, it's not a free country anymore.
I just think and then you've got the trucks that have the super bright lights on the front of them, and so if you drive by those at night, if you've seen those recently, I mean you're going off the road, you're blind
the
at that
bright
point.
lights are tough because
you and Abel need to be friends.
I'm
know.
just saying, I think that it would help us all if everybody just had normal cars, you know?
How about we just have one standard vehicle for the entire country?
This is why we don't make
It's
laws, guys.
gray,
We're ruining it.
And they all look exactly the same. They're the same shape, same headlights and everything. I think.
Okay.
And What if we all could wear the same clothes?
Okay.
Yeah, like a jumpsuit maybe. It could be gray.
Kind of like
also.
how we had, like, if you were in high school, a lot of people had uniforms.
Yeah, your school
Yeah, so
uniform.
similar to that.
that's-
And people do that already because you go to work, you have a uniform that you're wearing as is. When I go to Krispy Kreme here in a little bit, they're all going to be matching. So
So we
everybody,
should have
you wear uniforms more than
a
you think.
country uniform. You think
could
we
if you
should have?
wanted to, I think so.
Not a country, a United States uniform.
Yeah.
I think
ooh.
that we have gotten off track on some fun laws we wouldn't mind just putting in place.
But if we did have a United States uniform.
But Nikki, thank you for that. But back to my previous point.
No, I just thought
off the subject.
Instead of making it a gray jumpsuit, because that seems so dystopian, like such a scary future. Instead,
I love gray,
it could be
so-
more fun though. It could be like American flag pants
Sure.
and an American flag shirt and a bandana that's an American flag.
Is there an eagle on it or?
Yes.
Okay.
There is.
All right, well,
that's only for the leaders.
Listen, both you guys, we got your possible laws down as some
Any other good ones,
options.
everybody?
No, I think you guys came up with
We got enough?
I think you guys came up with beautiful
What about
ones.
one law that you would take off the books if you could?
All of yours?
That probably would have been a good question too, Latavius.
Save it for another day.
What's one law you would get rid of?
Yeah. Let's save that one.
A dark road.
Absolutely fine to talk about in the future.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Well, there's a couple different ways this segment can go, depending on, Nikki, your level of interest in Mean Girls.
Oh, I remember that movie.
You remember?
I went through Mean Girls was a great movie phase.
Yeah? Okay, good. Then
Yeah.
hopefully this has some legs to it. Did you know that there's been talk of Mean Girls being brought back?
Oh, for another movie?
Another movie. Maybe Mean Women.
Mean Women.
I think would be a good
oh,
title
yeah.
for
Is it going to be still girls? Or
Yeah, because
mature women.
they've grown up a lot.
We're meaner.
Because Mean Girls it's a high school movie, right?
Yeah, it was.
But it was also 20 years ago. But that said, so bringing Mean Girls back, the 4 stars of the movie, Rachel McAdams, Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Seyfried, and Lacey Chabert. I'm not familiar with her. So
She's
I don't
on
know.
a lot of Hallmark stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So she could really use this then.
Well, I mean, it is a different dichotomy because back then, I guess Lindsay Lohan would have been the bigger star.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But then you have now the others who are probably more
Rachel
well-known.
McAdams and
Yeah.
Amanda Seyfried have definitely had
More mature work.
Yeah, they've continued over the last 20 years. They've had more success continued than definitely Lacey Chabert.
Hey, again, don't knock all of her
Hallmark.
Hallmark stuff, all right? I don't like what you're saying.
But they're the 4 stars of the movie. And so they want to bring Paramount is in charge of has the rights to it. They want to bring them back, but it seems that they're not all that committed to bringing them back because talks of bringing those 4 stars back and making a Mean Girls sequel have stalled because the actresses or representation for those 4 actresses have called the offers from Paramount disrespectful.
Oh, they say they actually have still stayed friends, allegedly. Who knows?
Okay, sure.
So that Paramount Pictures doesn't want to pay, though, what they feel like they're worth.
Yeah, it's good that they're all taking that stance together,
Yeah, but what would you do? I mean, why do we have to have another Mean Girls? Just enjoy Mean Girls, the first movie.
Yeah, but don't you want to know what happened to them after the events of the first movie?
No, anytime something's, 20, 30 years later, it doesn't have the same magic as maybe the first movie would have had.
But if they had such interesting obviously, it's such interesting dynamic going on in that time, then over the course of the next 20 years, surely something else interesting would happen in
Paramount's
the lives of the
not
Mean
sure.
Girls.
No, Paramount's not sure, which is why they don't want to pay that much money.
But the thing is, the problem is, if they aren't able to bring back these 4 actresses, right, then a Mean Girls sequel makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, well, that's what
why?
they'll try to do.
Why? And yeah, I'm sure they will, but then it becomes a whole lot more of that's a niche streaming thing that maybe a few people would watch, maybe, but it's definitely not. And,
No,
and even
it's-
this feels kind of streaming.
It's Peacock. It feels totally like it.
Paramount
because
Plus.
it's Tina Fey, though, so it feels Peacock.
Tina Fey, yeah, she's the one who wrote it, right?
Yeah, she did it.
So that's probably the real secret to the success.
Hey,
Although the
Paramount-
actresses are good too.
What if you branched into like Mean Hudsons and it was a new take on the movie and it was all about Hudson?
Mean Boys.
Yeah, Mean Boys.
Yeah, and it's me and 3 buddies.
Yeah, and that's your new movie.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that just wouldn't hit the same. But if Tina Fey writes it, maybe it would.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to pay as much. I assume you'll take less.
Less than Lacey Chabert.
Probably.
The words too expensive aren't in Nikki's vocabulary. This is The Riot. Radio U.
Where we are trying the brand new Reese's Krispy Kreme. Actually, they call it the Krispy Kreme Reese's Remix.
It's a salty and sweet collab because they've already done a Reese's collab before. So they said it was so popular, they're doing a different version of it.
Yeah, this one really leans on salty and sweet. So this might be the first time. Actually, I'm pretty confident it's the first time I'm ever having a donut with potato chips
on it?
Is that what those are? I was wondering what it was.
They're
Technically,
potato sticks.
Sticks.
The
They're potato
sticks?
sticks.
Yes.
That's
They
what
are
the
not-
white things are?
Yep.
I thought it was coconut,
No, it's
No.
potato sticks.
which wouldn't make any sense,
No,
but
it
I
wouldn't
was
make
confused.
sense. It also, does it look like coconut?
I thought so, like the little strings, you know?
And I can see that. Do you want to start
Okay,
with that one
sure.
first?
I think so.
Yeah, let's
That's
do
the salty sweet crisp donut, which is a glazed donut, Hershey's milk chocolate icing, and then topped with potato sticks, chocolate milk icing, and
Oh.
peanut butter sauce.
Don't say that. I haven't taken a bite
No,
yet.
I just did something bad.
What'd you do? Oh, try just the potato sticks.
That's what I
Wow.
did. That was a bad thing.
Those are very salty. We thought that maybe they don't do potato chips because it would get soggier faster.
But they weren't. That was the thing with the stick. I tried the stick 1st. Mm-hmm. It's not crispy at all.
No, it's not. That's what I was
It's not
thinking.
like eating a chip.
It's still good, but it's not. You wish it would have a crispy factor. Like maybe
Man,
they
that
put a
was
little
It's
baggie.
almost like eating a fry.
Yeah. What if there was a
Like a soggy
baggie in the
fry.
side of
Yeah.
it and you shaked them on like
Shook
right
'em
when
on?
you're ready
Yeah.
to eat them?
Yeah, that would be a better way to do this, but
Not even worth a
I
second
did not
bite.
enjoy that one. I did not enjoy
Me
that.
either.
But guys, it's still peanut butter.
It was still
Yeah.
good. No, I mean the donuts.
I just wish it didn't have those weird potato things on it
All
because
right,
they
take
weren't
those
good.
things off.
I wanted it to be good.
Let's do the other one, the Reese's Outrageous Donut. That's the original glazed donut, Hershey's milk chocolate icing, and then it's got the mini Reese's Pieces on
Got it.
top.
Feels like
So,
this will be tough to be bad, right?
this
yeah,
one should
there's
just
no way
be-
they can mess this one up, eh?
I've got a salted caramel icing. That also is good.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, the salted
Good
caramel's
crunch.
there. What crunch did you get? There's no crunch from the pieces.
Yeah, from the pieces.
pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, even those are soggy.
I can't believe you guys are calling them pieces.
I always do. Doesn't matter.
What do you call them?
Get
Pieces?
over it.
Pieces. Reese's Pieces?
You guys correct me on the most nonsensical stuff.
Because you don't
And you
say.
can't even say, I get it if you say Reese's, it's wrong, but whatever. But you call them pieces when you're not even saying Reese's
That's
with it.
because you
Reese's
say,
Pieces.
You say yogurt and it's yogurt, but I know why you say yogurt.
It's different. It's
It's
an
different.
accepted pronunciation.
All right, the last one for the sweet and salty collab is peanut butter icing. It is a peanut butter cream filled, drizzled Hershey's milk chocolate topped with sea salt praline pretzels.
Ooh,
this
the
is messy.
praline.
This is a messy one, but I
Now,
like it. I like how it looks.
I managed to cut a piece that has one little praline right on the side, but not on the top part. Well, the pralines are good.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I need a little more.
It's a lot of. I just don't like the toppings.
You don't like the praline?
I don't like any of them. I don't think. I
Oh,
mean, any of the
no.
any of the toppings.
There's-
like the pieces, the chips,
There's
and
an
these
aftertaste to the praline thing.
praline.
There's something
They're
there.
a little odd.
It's the sea salt, I think.
That's a little different. Okay. Well, I definitely know which one. When these are in the break room and I want to go back and have an actual donut and like
You
eat
want
the
any
whole
of
thing,
them?
I will eat the whole.
You're gonna eat the glazed one, huh?
Actually, you know what? That would be good. But the Reese's, the outrageous one with the Reese's Pieces,
That's the best.
which is the least out there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the least outrageous, believe it or not. But it actually definitely is the best. Then the praline one. That one was okay. I kind of enjoyed it. I like the filling. I just don't know if the pralines do a lot for me or improve it. And then the one with the potatoes is, I did not
Last.
enjoy that. I don't like the potatoes on the top.
Let me tell you, if you took the potato sticks off and the praline stuff off, it'd be amazing.
Good donuts.
Like the rest would be amazing. So I know that's what makes it a collab, but that's probably our least favorite part.
Yeah, I think, and the pralines you could more easily take off too. It's just a couple, you just brush them off, and maybe that'd be a solid donut without those.
No, go in and roll in and be like, hey, I don't want potato sticks.
Take the potato sticks,
See if
the
they'll do it.
pralines, get all that crap off of there.
You think Krispy Kreme takes custom orders?
I
No.
doubt it, but the base of the donuts are good.
They-
Yeah,
definitely
I mean,
Like,
it's chocolate and peanut butter. It
that's
tastes
good.
good, but I don't need all the extras on top.
So what do we give the whole collab as a rating?
I'm going to go with a 3. Yeah, I'll do a 3.
I'm going to do like a 3.4.
Okay.
Okay.
Of all the Krispy Kreme ones we've done as of late, this was one of the more disappointing ones.
The first one was amazing, though. Like, you can't top that.
Yeah.
Hudson, what do you got?
I'll say 3.5 because I still like the outrageous one's real solid. I might even almost consider ordering that over other donuts.
Okay.
So it's pretty good.
You want me to pick the potato sticks
And the bad
off?
ones aren't that bad.
I know.
Not terrible. I mean, it's
Still
still a
good.
donut, so.
Yeah. So
But comparatively so.
It was
Another-
almost $18 for the dozen.
well, that
was.
makes me think twice. then.
That's pretty expensive
Yeah,
at this
now
point.
that's outrageous.
While Isaiah is wishing for a girlfriend, Nikki and Hudson are just wishing for any friend at all. The Riot. Radio U.
I've got a job opportunity for you guys. Really, I think any of us could do this. It is a guy in New York City. Let me just read you the ad, actually. I'm seeking a soulmate, but first, I'm seeking a Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, the one thing.
Uh-huh. It says, me, a 30-something guy with a good Hinge profile, but a low motor for messaging. You, a witty banterer that loves the apps. Us, the most unstoppable force on the New York dating scene. You'll be paid a commission. $200 if you can get him a date
Okay.
with your messages.
Oh,
$2,000 if it becomes an
Whoa.
official girlfriend situation.
okay.
And $10,000 for a wife.
So you're the one messaging back and forth?
You do the messages, or I think that's what it is. Because it's not really realistic, right? For him to send you the message and then, okay, what would you respond? And then he
You probably have his login.
Yeah,
you
so
just
got
log
his
into his account.
Hinge, and then you just set up like, hey, I've been talking to this gal for a while. Can you date whenever? And then, yeah, it works out. So, what do you guys think?
You know what I think I would do?
What would you do?
I would get a friend to scam him.
Oh, Nikki!
What?
Like then you get the money. So it's
Nikki
just-
would get one of her girlfriends to
perfect
go on the date with
Wow,
them.
that's real good.
So like you could totally get the $2,000. I mean, we're not taking it to wife thing. You're
Yeah.
not marrying the guy unless you fall in
well,
love.
why not for $10,000?
For $10,000, just too tempting.
Yeah, but that's actually a brilliant idea.
So
Or
I feel like that's a possible outcome he needs to be aware of.
Isaiah or Nick. I mean, if you have a lot of friends too, you could maybe you could make more money instead of getting him one girlfriend. Get him to go on a bunch of dates that never work out.
The
Just
people
tell
that
all
you
your
know.
girlfriends, yeah,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
$100 for you, $100 for me.
Well, Isaiah, do you feel like the messaging part is usually the give or take part where like it's just not going to work out? Or,
See, I think so.
That's the hard part?
I think the hard part is just like getting him on the dates, but it just depends on like. Obviously, he doesn't have pictures of his profile on here.
Mm-hmm.
If it did, I would be able to tell you how hard this would be, but he has no photos on here, so we can't tell.
Well, if he's willing to pay $10,000 if you can get him a wife, he's probably got some money, right?
Yeah, but like the whole profile, that's the big thing,
He's
though.
probably got some pictures where he's looking like
Now,
he's got
they
some money.
said he's rather attractive, but the thing
Who is this they we
he's-
speak of? Because if he's willing to pay
His mom.
$10K,
His
I
mom.
feel as if maybe he's not.
They said that he can't be bothered to do the whole
Yeah.
messaging thing, and he wants someone to take care of that part.
Do you ever find that? Because that's the thing, right? Going on a date is fun. If you don't enjoy messaging or whatever, you don't like that back and forth, that can be time consuming, right? Plus, that winds up being a lot of wasted time for people that it doesn't work out with. So, what do you think about that? Don't you think?
I think it just depends how you do it. How you do the whole messaging thing, because I think when you get on Hinge, you should just be very straightforward. That's how, at least for me, that's how I've always been. If I match with you on Hinge, I'm going to ask you on a date because I don't really want to do the whole messaging thing. If we message for 2 weeks, if we message for 2 weeks, we could have great chemistry online or whatever, and then I meet you in person, and either you aren't exactly what I thought you were going to look like, or maybe we don't have the chemistry I thought we were going to have, and so I just wasted a month texting you to find out that we don't click in person. That's just how it goes. So I think for me, I don't really waste a lot of time on the apps. I'll just ask you if you want to go on a date. If you want to go, we can meet up for coffee or something, and if we have good chemistry, we can go from there. But I'm not going to spend all day texting somebody to find out we don't have good
Well, that's
chemistry.
what he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Now, they are saying, it's $200 he'll pay if you message and get him a date, $2,000 if she becomes your girlfriend, $10,000 if she becomes your wife. You have to share evidence of what sort of writing style you have. And so people are just concerned he'll just take all that and use that all for free.
Yeah, but
So we'll see what he does.
We all know this, right? You can't use copy-paste stuff in messages with women and get away.
It can
you
get you started.
You can copy and paste.
You
I'm
can use that as
telling
a
you.
first message. You can't continue a conversation to get to a date doing copy-paste stuff for very long, I don't think. But obviously people are seeing the other issue of what if the messenger, as in, let's say Isaiah was writing all the messages for this guy, and then he just steals the gal.
I just steal the date.
Like which is what happens in Cyrano, which this guy referenced even. So I don't know what the whole deal is.
Well, if you like to write or use one of the, the chat bots, you just want to make a quick
That's an idea,
$200, go ahead.
Well, I'm hearing another money-making opportunity, and that's a dating app where you don't message, you just swipe right and left, and then when you match with somebody, it just tells you to set up a date.
Yeah, okay.
It just says, here's the location.
Yeah, that's good.
Location, you guys pick a time, boom, that's it.
Instead of Hinge, it's
Confirm.
Hudson.
It's probably already a dating app, and nobody uses it for some reason.
It's an old one.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It's National Chili Day.
It's chilly out, or how about a bowl of chili?
How about a bowl of chili? It couldn't come. Actually, you know what? It could come at a better time of year because I feel like chili really, you really hit your stride with chili in November.
Yeah.
Like pre-Thanksgiving.
Some parts of the country are at a super cold spell, and other parts are a super hot spell. So
That's right.
Depends on your area.
But if it's too, chili always hits no matter what the temperature is outside, but it hits better.
I take it
when it's cold.
You're a chili fan?
I'm a big chili fan.
Okay.
I love chili. So what is your thoughts on chili?
Well, I don't like beans. So
Okay.
if I do make a chili, I make it without it.
Okay. it's
And I
fine.
also
In
don't
fact, many people consider that the real chili.
That's true. I also don't like tomato stuff a lot. So I have to be in
I
a
didn't
mood.
realize you were so picky.
I know. When it comes to
Picky
chili,
Nikki,
I am.
huh?
Hey, oh, that hurts.
That does hurt.
It's perfect because
Yeah.
it hurts. So if I do make chili, I like a lot of cheese and sour cream in it. And then I like it put on eggs or other things.
Eggs, really?
Anything besides just having a solo bowl of chili.
Okay. All right. That's all right. So do you have a favorite? This is my question that I want to put out there for everybody. And I know it's controversial, but the best style of chili.
Would the no bean one count then?
Well, that's kind of vague. There's a
Yeah.
lot of kinds of chili that don't include beans.
I just did one when we went camping not too long ago, and I made one in the crock pot thing, and it was good.
It kind of sounds to me like you might prefer, say, because you don't like beans.
Yep.
And you don't like tomatoes.
Yeah.
So then are you more of a white chili type
I
of
haven't had
person?
that in a while, but
White
that's
chili.
No, because that's normally a white bean chili.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do not like white chili. That is the where I draw the line on my chili fandom is white chili. Not interested. I'm looking at the list of chili styles, and I'd rather have vegetarian or a black bean chili, a turkey chili, any of that.
Anything besides that?
The white chili is the worst.
I guess I didn't realize there were all these different types for today.
Yeah. Well, I think the ones that most people think of or when people think of chili, the first thing that comes to mind is usually Texas chili, which does not have beans, right? But that's red.
That's right.
And I will say, I think that's the right kind of chili or the best. But I can get behind the Cincinnati chili as well.
The Skyline chili.
The Skyline. It doesn't have to be from Skyline.
I know, but it's weird. Isn't that the one with a cinnamony taste
It's
to
cinnamon.
it? Oh, it's
I like
awful.
cinnamon. Beef broth is involved.
Weird.
It's much more of a sauce than it's a chili you would just eat a bowl of. I don't know if anybody would just get a bowl of Cincinnati style chili and just eat it with a spoon.
You need something
That
with
sounds
it.
like a mess. So you got to put it on top of something. I've never been the type of person that understood putting the Cincinnati chili on spaghetti, but there's a whole part of the country that likes to do that. So that's fine with me.
Are you going to have chili today? It feels like this is your day.
Well, I didn't know this was coming up, but I do have ground beef.
You could make it.
So maybe,
yeah.
and the beauty of chili is as long as you have like some of the main ingredients, you just go crazy with it.
Just throw whatever.
Throw whatever you have. You just empty the cupboards into it. So, which I've done before. So maybe I should do that today.
Well, us talking more about National Chili Day has made me not want chili. So
you don't want chili?
It's the reverse for me.
Why?
I just don't feel like it.
Oh, come on.
I got to prepare for that.
It's a great day. Yeah, that is true. Chili's got to simmer for a while. I haven't started it yet, so I don't know. I might have to go to Skyline.
Oh, it's fine.
Apparently,
it's fine.
they have deals today. If you check their social media, you might be able to find something.
I went there once and I just didn't know what it was. I was like, what?
Unsuspecting.
Oh, it was bad.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
I did see that Gary texted in. Gary says he likes beans in the chili, and his idea is throw some Cheez-Its on top.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I've never thought of that. I'm not the biggest Cheez-Its fan. I didn't say, I said I like a bowl of chili. Mm-hmm. I don't care for the Cincinnati style. Where I don't mind the style, but I don't put it on spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's not me. But you know what I really love to do?
What?
And this is with almost any kind of chili. My favorite thing to do, a nice good hunk of cornbread.
Oh, sure.
And then you dump the chili on top of that.
Well, you're doing it all, aren't you?
Put some cheese, and that's how I roll.
Well, cheeses are a good idea, or I like Ruffles, like some sort of wavy. It's got to have some texture to it.
Some chips.
Yep.
Some chips and then scoop it up.
Yep.
What about D?
Oh, Fritos. That would be it.
Fritos.
Fritos, the scoop ones.
Well, why don't you just get Fritos that are flavored like chili?
Okay, well,
save the mess.
You could do that.
D also texted in from Texas where she says that Nikki, that like her style of chili, the Texas style of chili she's talking about is mostly beef, hardly any tomatoes, and definitely not beans because you wouldn't do beans.
You wouldn't do that.
She says that's a stew. That's what they say in Texas. I know they're real big on I don't know why they think that other kinds of chili can't be chili too. You know what I mean?
Texas, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you like your style, and so you're going with it.
There's just some, why do we have to gatekeep chili? I think I feel
like some people gatekeep it though, or they don't like it when they feel like someone else comes in and ruins whatever their taast was.
But I don't think beans ruin chili. I think as a fan of chili, and I think this can be for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You open the gates real wide, and then the fringe cases, like in the Miami Valley, where they have. Now we're shifting to pizza, but where they bake the pizza and have the cold toppings that are unbaked on top.
You don't understand
That's
that one.
a fringe case where that's not pizza. That's a weird sandwich, open-faced sandwich that you've devised.
Well,
but.
Jeff,
with chili, you keep the gates open, and then when people do weird stuff with the chili, that's when it's not chili anymore.
Jeff, thanks for texting. He's in a super cold area full of ice in Michigan and says chili and cheese on hot dogs or Fritos.
Yeah.
Yes, and I like the hot dog sauce,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like chili, but it's different. I like
don't
that
even
stuff.
know what kind of style because it doesn't have beans in it.
I could have a whole bowl of
but
that.
it's really, it's not that different from sloppy Joe
I
meat
know.
either. So I don't know how to term that because it's definitely, you call it chili. But I don't actually know what style. I guess it's just hot dog sauce, which I do enjoy.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It comes in that small little can.
Uh-huh.
You're like, yeah, we're having hot dog
the
sauce.
Hormel.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's always a lot of fun.
Well, I didn't realize we could all talk about chili so much.
Yeah. And you know what? You said it was my day today. You know what else today is?
What?
It's curling is cool day.
Curling as in
The sport of curling.
The sport of curling?
The cool sport of curling.
You've never curled, have you?
I've not gotten to curl.
But you appreciate
But
it?
I think it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to go curling. I keep saying we should do it for the show, but I keep getting shot down. Some people don't seem to think it's cool, which is why we have to have all day declaring that it is.
No, you and your chili and your curling and come across as really cool.
My day.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
You guys have been a little grumpy. I think I need to cheer you up.
I think we're tired.
I think you need to cheer yourselves up. So I have here the 4 habits of happy people.
Where's your woo at that or your...
Woo!
There it is.
Boom.
That's one of them is
that's
wooing.
it. The boom.
Wooing and booming are one of the keys
You
to
gotta
being a
hype
happy
yourself
person.
up, you know?
All right, you ready to hear? It's not just one study. It's like a amalgamation. It's several studies put together and that basically all put together to find that these are the 4 basic areas you want to focus on to become a happy person.
So it's a big study because sometimes they'll just take from everybody else's studies and they'll make one massive one.
All right. That's exactly what we have here. So number 1, move your body. You guys kind of got that nailed, right? Nikki, you're doing 10,000 steps a day. Isaiah, you hit the gym. You've hit the gym every day since the new year, right? I get up and off the couch sometimes. So I think we've all got that one taken care of.
We've got that nailed down.
But yeah,
as a show.
But don't you think sometimes that's what makes you unhappy? Like, if you got to go do a workout or if you're not to your steps for the day.
I think it's when you finish it, though.
Then you're happy.
Once you finish a workout, that's a good feeling.
And anything you do on a routine basis will at times make you unhappy in the moment. This is wise right here. Listen to the wisdom that I'm coming up with. Anything you do every day will some days make you unhappy when you do it, but in the long run, it all works out.
Okay, well, right now it seems like every day.
So
happy, but I'll take your word on it.
Move your body is habit number 1 for a happy person. Number 2, prioritize connection. You need to actually make time to talk, listen, share, and have fun with friends and family.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's probably
good.
one that I think a lot of people, if you're missing out on happiness, that's probably a big one where maybe you're not, and it might not be necessarily a fault of your own, but maybe you're just not having enough time to spend with some friends, to talk to people.
That's what I need. I need a best friend who will go work out with me, so then I don't hate it as much.
There you go.
Isaiah?
Well, we gotta run on different schedules.
You don't want to go with me. That will not be fun.
Not a good time for us.
I think I'll hold you back. So I'll let you just get out of that one.
All right, number 3, practice gratitude.
That's important.
Yeah, this is, you got to think about things that you have to have an optimistic mindset. Honestly, this could kind of be considered lucky girl syndrome, right? You tell yourself you're lucky, good things happen to you, and then you start to feel like things do. It's kind of the flip side, but I think they both are getting at the same idea of you start being thankful or having a different mindset of, hey, things aren't that bad. And then things aren't that bad.
So that's 3 out of 4?
Yeah, or if you want to practice gratitude, a suggestion is the 3 good things intervention. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's where you literally...
I'm a realist, so I haven't.
For each day, you go ahead and say, what are 3 good things that happened to me today?
Okay.
Even if it's a bad day, you can probably find 3 good things, right? We already had the Krispy Kreme Reese's remix.
You're right.
So that's 1.
Would you look at that?
And the day,
Wow.
so it's still such a young day.
Oh my goodness, we have so much to look forward to today.
Yeah.
It's National Chilli
What a happy day.
You might be able to find more than 3 on
Really?
Sundays. And then
I can only handle 1 more.
All right, 1 more, and
One
this
more.
is an easy one. Spend time with your pets.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
Trash take. My
You don't
dad
think so?
stinks.
Yeah.
He only brings me pain and sadness.
But you would miss him if it wasn't there.
But you know what?
would.
You've been so busy running around that maybe you're just not making enough time for him, and it's making both of you unhappy.
No, I've actually been happier seeing him less as of late. It's caused less stress on my body.
I don't know if you're going to win a lot of fans talking
That's
like that
fine.
about a dog on the
That's
radio.
fine.
Wait a minute, though. What do I need to do with my dog? Because my dog is medicated to be happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, he needs
So he should be easy to spend time with.
no, because it doesn't work enough.
I don't know. I think it's just maybe you just need different pets.
Okay,
That's
that
probably
could
what
be
it comes
it.
down to for you two
No.
guys.
Maybe a fish.
They do make you happy. No, I had that. That was miserable.
Even worse?
Oh, I
Or
hated it.
Nikki, maybe you just have too many.
Too many pets.
many
Yeah,
pets.
and
Yeah.
Isaiah, maybe you don't have enough.
I don't have enough. I think I needed 1 more dog to pee in my bed this morning.
Is that what
would
he
have been.
did?
He did right before I left.
Well, I can bring you one of mine, and they'll teach him. They'll
that'd
teach
be
him
great.
all ship shape.
That would be
well,
preferred.
I've given you the 4 tricks to being a happy person. Now you can't blame me if you're upset.
I'm thankful and grateful that you shared that with us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Hudson.
All right, so practicing gratitude. Most importantly, be gratitude to me.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.